today's progress, yesterday's progress, today's task, and what need to be thought of for that problem we are facing yesterday. So this is the day 54, and almost 8 week is going to be covered this week, and I'm thinking to let's finish the task by then, if time permits. Other than that, what let's talk about yesterday's problem. We have faced an issue that the like is showing, even though the count is 0, it is showing for red color. But we want to show it only if there is a click and there's like happened. So that is the case. Now one problem was that, and second problem is about the refresh. So we will look into refresh on a later stage, but we will solve that problem of color, and then we will look towards comment and learn one more new thing there. So you can see in the task, we are in the progress of home page, and tomorrow is the deadline, so finish it by today, and then we will move towards comment page. So let's get back to our code in VS Code, and now let me open the home page. Let me choose other tabs. So what I did nothing, just I make that class into in form of variable, where I choose to use those like equals to 0 to apply the filter red. So that is the CSS part. I guess that is all okay, and let restart the server and check. So this should be in the Python 3 app.py, and this should be npm run dev. So now let's run it. Localhost, because it's running on local system, so it's localhost. Yeah, now it's started. So let's check the backend. Backend is also running. It will be loading in a minute. So by the time I'm just use the where was that? I have just used this function which is known as, which is one of the operator in JS that check the condition. If post.like is 0, then this filter is applied. So I have used that feature. So you can use feature like that. Now you can see we are in the login page, so we are using that. After sign up, let's say it's 1, and now let's check to check that, let's convert that into in database that into 0 instance. So let's mark it as 0, and then we will see. So let's refresh this. Now you can see it's a black, and if I click, the click has been sent, you can see, and refresh is not there. So let's refresh this. Now it is color is red. So we will look into it at later stage, where we will look after refreshing, it will automatically show those things. Now let's come back to this part where this image will be a post. Now based on this, let's go to home, and based on this, what we want comment. So right now it's just a comment that is Jack and this thing in a vi in 3, but uh, what we want those things from the API. So what we need to do, import use router, comma use route. So this is a new thing, right? So what is use route? Basically, you know that comments are using the post ID here. So we will be using the same thing to get those things from view router. and import Axios from Axios. Now router is equals to use router, and this will be in form of variable. This all should have some tab space. Const route equals to use route. Again, n is not there. Now we want some const comments equals to ref a list. Again, and from and we will import few things more, like we will import on mounted from view. So we will use all of those things to send the data and all sort of those things. Again, it will have some form of scroll. So we will use a similar function. Like this will be there. Sorry, these things will be there. Again, pages should be there. Now we will make a function and use that. It is a similar function, so I have just copy pasted it and changing the name. Instead of fetch first, it will be fetch comments. Return this, so it will be slash comments. And if I check the backend code for comments, to get that we also require post ID. So we need that as well. And how to get that post ID? Similarly, we haven't added location equals to R, so it will not work. So let's do that. And here we will add one more parameter. Post ID equals to route dot params dot post ID. So let's see what was used in the index.js. It's post underscore ID, so post underscore ID is there. And let's To let you know, this is the thing you can see in the view 3 view router. It is a thing that need to access the route itself. So you can see the uses, and you can see params.id for outlet test. Now that will be sent and data will be there. It will be commenced dot value. But the issue is that if you see the database for comments, so now you can see comment ID, user ID, post ID, but we don't know the post. Based on the post ID, we require one more API for the post, which typically takes one more which will typically takes parameter to sort out thing. So what we will do, we require one more API need to make for that, and we got that information to the backend. So let's create that task here. We require API for that. So in the API integration, what we will have a task, API, and post for specific post ID. And that need to be done before on 7th, before 7th, or let's mark it as 6 itself. And we have finished the homepage for now. Let's finish it, comment it there, in progress, and we have to make in progress this as well. So we have to make that as well. For specific post, we will send that. So whenever you open, you require that API as well in the comments. So we will use that as well. And I guess one more, and what could be there? So let's remove this. And what we will do for comment in comments, this will be again comments ID similar to post ID. So in the comment, we have to send the user ID of username of the comment ID. So we will do all those changes in the APIs as well. So we require those modifications. Now based on those things, we have to convert the username for that. And so that we require the APIs for that. And until then, let's do this experiment. And so Jack itself issue, and here it should be comment. Comment dot. So let's see comment dot comment. So now there is some error, that's why it is not loading. So ref is not defined, and we have to define it here. and in the onMount we have to call that function, which comments, and then there's on before mount we have to also use this. So on before mount is not imported, so let's import that. So now it's in the promise. Now you can see there is no comment for now because there is no comment at least, and here the image is there, but actually image should be of that post. So we have to make changes in those APIs, and that will work here, and we will make sure that. So there will be only one post, we know that. So we require one post, uh, post ID, or specifically post file name at the time of we are sending that. So in the comment API, we have to convert this in the data. We have to convert a specific type of those things. We require specific thing from the comments and specific things from the other things. Like we require username. We require one thing we require is username. Another thing we require is the post name, or basically post what we say, post file name, basically that encoded base64 image which will be sent and it will be shown here, right? So we will work on those things, and this is the task now we have created. So we will work on those things by tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed the today's session with what you have learned, with the changes I have made. I hope you enjoyed. That's all for today. Let's come back and solve those issues, those two tasks. Thank you and have a nice day.